In every hamlet, every city across this country, there are problems with illegal and deadly drugs. And what's the answer? Before that, please subscribe and PayPal to keep this analysis, independent analysis, on the air. Adam Zivo is a columnist with Post Media. He joins me right now because you have studied what's going on with, quote, safe supply or safe drugs, which in my view is a misnomer there because they aren't safe. It sort of lets people think, oh, it's safe drugs, I can use those.
Well, they're not safe at all. They're distributing highly addictive drugs, which are as potent as heroin in most cases, and in some cases they're just giving out pharmaceutical fentanyl. And these drugs may be safer than the drugs you'll get on the street, but they're still highly dangerous and will ruin your life if used in the long term.
So how do we get to this state in our civilization, or this debacle of civilization that is coming now, where we have government taking taxpayers' money and providing drugs to people on the street?
Well, theoretically, it could work. So, for example, imagine if you are addicted to fentanyl and you're getting fentanyl on the street and you don't know if it's contaminated and you don't know what the dosing is. It could kill you.
Yes, but I'm going to take that good fentanyl, the pure stuff they're giving me, go out on the street, sell it for a lot more money, and get the trash.
That's the thing, right? Yeah. So, I mean, in theory, it sounds nice. In practice, people sell their drugs, and we value having low barrier access to these programs. So we don't require supervised consumption, which would be the easiest way to make sure that none of these drugs are sold on the street.
When you say supervised consumption, would we have to put these drug addicts in jail?
No, it would just mean that if you go to a clinic or a pharmacy and you get free quote-unquote safe drugs, that you are watched while you consume them. Additionally, such a system would have to, if it were done responsibly, would have to be recovery oriented. So we're not giving you drugs indefinitely. It's only as a temporary measure to get you towards recovery. That would be ideal, but that's not what we're doing.
So, Adam, why do the bureaucrats still stand up and say, we know there's problems with this, but we're going to pursue this? We're still going to pursue giving drugs out to people on the street.
Because they're highly ideological. They don't care what the actual evidence is. They have these hypotheses, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to make them true, even if they're not. And the clearest example of this is a recent study that came out just last month, which claimed that safer supply reduces mortality by 55 to 91%. But when I reviewed it with a team of 7 physicians, we found that these researchers cherry-picked their data, and there was actually no statistically significant results, no benefits at all.
Yeah. Let me put something very, very unique to you. People know drugs are bad. People know street drugs are probably impure, worse than even the pure drugs. What about, if you're going to be a drug addict, what about just letting them go? What about, someone is screwing up their life, instead of having a whole taxpayer-paid drug class, just let them screw up their lives?
Because that's cruel and inhumane. I'm sorry, but
well,
these
are people. To give people drugs.
We have to find a way to get them to treatment. This intervention is ineffective.
Intervention and treatment would be great, but we aren't doing that.
We aren't, and that's the problem. We're not treating people, we're enabling their addiction.
That's the problem. Adam, thank you very much. 3 minutes. This show provides independent analysis of the issues. We are not paid by the government. And as I am finding, so much business in Canada relies upon various governments that they don't want to sponsor or advertise on a show which may become controversial, which talks about liberty, freedoms, sometimes criticizes government. I've had guests on that support the government. But people are saying, you know what? We don't want to bite the hand that feeds us, i.e. government, which is why I hope you'll subscribe and contribute to keep this show on the air.